the outcome of tonight's game, but I'm so encouraged by the fight of our players, because they took the court tonight with the belief that we were going to win this game, and we did not perform the way we needed to throughout the game to show that, but we had moments. And in November, if you can have enough of those moments against a team as capable of Gonzaga, who's going to contend for a national championship, and add to that the way we performed last night against Providence, and so many of the great things we showed throughout the first 30 minutes of that Arizona game, I want to make sure our guys are leaving here with their heads high, knowing that we got a chance to be a special team this year, and when we get to Atlantic 10 play, we'll be ready for anything.
What was just the challenge of dealing with their front court? I mean, if it wasn't Ike, it was Huff. If it wasn't Huff, it was Greg, and they can just have kind of the ability to keep throwing guys at you.
Well, I think that's it. They have the ability to just keep throwing it at you, and that's what we saw against Arizona. And you have to work so hard to get back in transition, because they put pressure on you every single possession, getting the ball up the court quickly. So you have to stop the ball, but at the same time, you have to be ready to defend the post. And when that guy gets a little bit tired, they go off the bench. They go to their bench with guys like Ben Gregg and Braden Huff, and you're talking about two guys coming off the bench that go a combined 15 for 21 from the field, 6 assists, 0 turnovers, 12 rebounds between the two of them. There's a physicality piece. I mean, these are some grown men, 5th, 6th year of college. So you can game plan to double team them, but they catch the ball so deep, a double team doesn't even matter at that point. What's so incredible about obviously Coach Few has built the culture that everybody sees and expects from Gonzaga every year, but to have that level of talent that they have, to have that depth, but they have 24 assists on 35 baskets, and they have talent, but they are unbelievably unselfish everywhere. And I think you see a lot of teams that have talent, but they don't know how to play like a team and play unselfishly. And even with new guys that they have added to their roster this year, they bought in. So it's kind of what everybody should come to expect from a Gonzaga team. My first time coaching against it as a head coach, and they're a tough team. They're really, really good and really well coached.
You mentioned last night that there are similarities between them and Arizona, but the front court, the way that they play through their front court is a little bit different. What were some of the differences and similarities, and how did you kind of compare those two after seeing them both?
Yeah, I mean, Ben Gregg picks and pops a little bit more. Braden Huff has the ability to come down and shoot that trail three, which did he shoot one tonight? He did not take a 3-point attempt. Just different in terms of their individual abilities. I mean, Toby Iwaka and Krivas for Arizona, they're just massive and they're strong, and they just find themselves around the rim. Well, Graham Ike, and I'm sorry if I said his last name wrong, but Graham, he can make a spin move, and he can go left shoulder, he can go right shoulder. Braden Huff, he has incredible touch with jump hooks. We guarded him well, and we played his tendency, and he still made us make a basket over us. Ben Gregg is just like a rugged rebounder, rim runner. He can finish, and he showed he can make threes. So they're just all different, is really what I mean. And obviously their coaches use them to their abilities better, or one way or another.
And then just dealing with Nembhard, 14 assists. What was kind of the goal with containing him and trying to prevent him from getting their bigs involved?
Yeah, there was a quote, one of our managers puts together like a media report, so we see all of the highlights and the quotes from press conferences throughout the year, and Coach Few called him a wizard in the ball screen, and that's exactly what he is. I mean, at halftime, it wasn't even an adjustment. Halftime bullet point was that he had 8 assists and 2 shots. So when he got to the paint, we have to be thinking about not playing our gaps as much as getting close to our man, because he's going to find him if there's a slither to deliver that pass. They run great ball screen actions for him. They have great talent setting and rolling on those ball screens, and then maybe the best in the country in terms of playing in ball screens and delivering passes. And we didn't really adjust, but sometimes our coverage may have looked like we were adjusting, and he was just as good against all of them. So I think there's a reason why he's probably the best passer in the country and one of the best point guards, if not the best.